Oh, he's tapping. What? In half guard? Following the footsteps of Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley, Batista, now CM Punk, Jack Swagger, the All-American made his MMA debut. Bellator, he choked out the guy with an arm triangle, and he did it from half guard. That's strong. He's a big guy. He's a strong guy for sure. He was a fantastic amateur wrestler. But this guy that he fought, man, talking about 50 fights, my ass. There's no way this dude had 50 fights. Okay, if this guy had 50 fights, then I had fucking 50 fights myself. But I like what Bellator is doing. I like the fact that they gave him a guy that he can beat and he can look good. Whereas the UFC put CM Punk against a young gun who was very well versed. Even though he only had one fight himself. Mickey Gall was a great brown belt in jiu-jitsu, could stand up. I mean, he was a real good guy, up and comer. So the UFC did a terrible job matchmaking. Versus Bellator, they do a really good job of matchmaking, which is what boxing do. They kind of built the guy up. Obviously, Jack Swagger, Jake Hager, he's in his late 30s, man, so he's not going to have a time to go through the regional ranks. He didn't get hurt. He got some ring time experience. He got some confidence. So in his next fight, they'll probably step it up a little bit, but not too high. Because, again, they're trying to build him up, which is, I think it's what's missing in MMA, what's missing in the UFC. Like, you got to build him up. You can't just throw a guy who doesn't have experience or coming back after an injury or coming back after a layoff against the top contender. I feel like that's something that I like what Bellator is doing there. You got to build them up. So anyway, we really haven't seen anything of Jack Swagger. He's a great All-American wrestler, was 10, 20 years ago. We know that. But he made short work of this guy. I mean, I like the fact that he's embracing his professional wrestling background. I really do. CM Punk didn't even want to talk about it. I mean, listen, he's bringing something to the table. This guy is on the main card, on the second biggest fight promotion in the U.S. because he brings something to the table. He brings his name value. He's been in the world of professional wrestling for however many years he was. And he's on the card. So it's not like he has nothing. He's bringing in eyes. People want to see this guy fight. So I like the fact that he had another wrestler, Ron the Truth Killings, I think his name was. I remember when he was like rapping with Road Dogg like 15 years ago. But he's out there doing a song for him. He's out there trying to deliver a promo after his fight. So I like the fact that he's embracing the professional wrestling, right? He's not trying to hide who he is. He's not trying to not talk about it. He's not only embracing, he's pushing himself. And I like that. I think more, and that's one thing I wish that CM Punk did. CM Punk was just like, oh, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it. Well, you should talk about it because that's who you are. That's why we came to see you fight. And lots of luck to him, man. We'll see, and hopefully he's going to get a step up in competition, and we can see what he really can do.